right, we'll get started. It's 7 o'clock. Calling the meeting to order. And if you can say your name for attendance.
Crystal Adams.
Jean Pillow.
Lori Barefoot.
Alice Faith.
Jim Keating.
And Grace Jacobson. Got everybody.
Okay, I don't think we have any alternates.
It's Jim.
Oh, Jim is?
Oh, I am. Yep.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Do I have to like seat him or?
No.
Okay, just if we were gonna vote on something, I think.
I think he gets seated because there was not 11 full members here. You have to seat him.
Okay.
I'm already sitting.
Jim, take a seat. I'm seating you. Okay, so approval or amendment of the previous meeting minutes.
I move to approve the minutes.
And I second it.
Jean approved, Lori Barefoot second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? And public participation, I see we have Jay Swan, our first selectman. Welcome.
Thank you, and it's nice to join you all.
Okay.
Oh, and Beth just chimed in.
Jay.
So Jay, did you want to speak now or is there a particular topic later?
Well, I believe I was asked to attend to talk about issues related to trees on 169. I can speak now, or I'll speak whenever you wish to have me.
Okay. Well, we do have the Eversource project, unfortunately, way down at H, but
We can move it up. We can bump it.
That would be appreciated.
okay. We will do that. So we'll just go through a couple other things and then we'll get to that. So treasurer's report.
We have $491.02 in the budget, and our special is the same. It's $2,161.22.
The items that we budgeted last meeting, I haven't acted on yet, but we'll do so before June 30th.
Okay.
Okay, I don't have
That's
a
it.
report because I'm not, or the chairperson didn't give me a report, so. Communications? Any communications?
No, I didn't get into the town hall in time. I apologize. But there wasn't any as of last week. I did check, so.
Okay. We'll go to old business and we'll move Eversource project up to A. Does anybody want to give an update?
I guess I could give you an update.
Okay,
Okay.
If you wish. I met with Tony Wilbur, who represents Tenant Tree, who was hired by Eversource. And they've been under contract to Eversource, and I'm not going to bore you with the details of what they're doing, you know, and this sort of thing. He came in on the 3rd of May, and he had a report on this is poor DOT, certain trees, and this was according to Department of Transportation. And he gave poll numbers, and he said that there was a 26-inch pine that will not be cut down. A maple by a certain pole will not be cut down. And there is a maple by a certain pole that will be cut down, and that's been tagged. he gave me a list of trees going basically on 169 from the Pomfret line into Woodstock. And he listed the span numbers and the species. And John Navarro went out and checked these out. I gave the list to him. He's got a, do you want me to read the specific trees or the areas? Beth says yes, she's nodding. Okay.
I'm mostly curious how many.
I didn't count. So I'm
Okay.
just gonna have to read you the list. He's got a pine, I'm sorry, 50 inches. And it's got a split crotch, so it's dangerous. John recommended taking it down. There's 5 ash trees. And this is in a similar location. They go from 20 inches wide to 30 inches wide. John noted they're either dead or dying. And I'm sure you're all aware of the emerald ash borer.
Mm-hmm.
So that's creating a major problem with some of the ash trees.
Yeah.
Let's see. He has an oak 24-inch. And this is John's notes. It's leaning badly. And it's over a 3-phase line. So that's probably gonna go. There's a maple in that same area. It's dying. There's a pine that's dying. One of the issues with pines, as you know, is the shallow root base. So
Yes.
that's the problem with wind, storms and that sort of thing. He's got another pine that's dying, an ash that's dead, a maple that's dying, a pine that's dying, a maple that's split and dangerous. He has an ash clump, and I believe that's a regrowth next to a previously taken down ash tree. He said it's a 40-inch tree, and the stump, both that and the stump are dying. Another ash dying, a pine that's broken, a pine one-sided and it's leaning. There's a maple 24-inch. He's referring that as to scrub. A maple dying, a maple that's hollow and dying, a maple one-sided misshapen. That usually means it's leaning. You know, when it's misshapen and one-sided. Another maple 36-inch that's dying or dead, an ash that's dying, 3 maples dying, a pine dying, a maple. Oh, he said, he makes a notation, has root rot, so it's dangerous. An ash dead or dying, a maple 28-inch dying, a maple 28-inch. He's double starred this one, he said leaning. A pine 18-inch and a maple 20-inch, but he says scrub. So to me, that means a small misshapen tree. He has, the rest of these are ash 18-inch, ash 22-inch, maple 18-inch, ash 18-inch, ash 18-inch, and another ash 18-inch. They're all dying. He's got a pine 34 inches, one side is larger than the other, so there's a weight issue with that. As I mentioned, they have very shallow roots, and it's hanging over 3-phase wires, and an 18-inch maple that's leaning. Now, they gave me span numbers, and I think this, that I can't tell you what the numbers mean, but I believe it's location. And I can ask John about that, where are these located, but these are the ones that are, again, from the town line Pomfret coming into Woodstock. And it does not say on what I'm looking at, where this list ends. There is a notation. Let's see, one sheet is near the middle school, one sheet is near the fairgrounds. One sheet of the ones I previously read is from the Pomfret Town line. I'm assuming going to the middle school, and then it picks up middle school and then near the fairgrounds. And he has 169 near 171. But I can't tell you what that means. So the list that I got originally from Tenant, I shared this with John, and I believe Crystal shared it with you folks. This list, is that correct or no? Or Crystal, am I wrong? No?
No, no, it was returned to you, Jay.
Okay. So anyway, I can't tell you which tree is where, you know, and that sort of thing, but the list that Tenant came up with, John basically went out and checked them all and said that, you know, the comments that I just read to you.
John Navarro?
Navarro.
Jay, first of all, I thank you for coming to our meeting. It's really important, you know, it just shows how important you're taking this issue. I'm curious as to why the tree warden was not consulted instead of John.
I can't tell you. I mean, I can call him tomorrow and say, I have this list. Would you go out? I give him a blank list and see if he, you know, see what he comes up with. And if he agrees with John.
Okay, I mean, I was just curious as to, you know, how that decision was made.
Well, Tenant came in to see me and, you know, half hour later, John stopped by. I said, hey, have I got something for you? So let that be a lesson to any of you. If you're in the control, don't just stop in, because I'll find something for you to do.
Well, the tree warden did want to be notified. He asked that he be notified.
John's been in contact with him through this whole process. I can't say that he was or was not notified on the ones that I just read off to you, going from, you know, 169 to 171. I can't say that.
I
If
think
you
it would be,
wish,
yes.
go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think it would be great if he would be specifically notified because he asked to be. I don't think it's a great idea to, I mean, I think it's great that John weighed in. And it sounds like there's solid rationale for these trees to be removed, but the tree warden did want to know. And I think it would be great if we could make sure that he is notified and that he has an opportunity to weigh in. He indicated that he wanted to do that. And so that's comment number one. Comment number two, are you aware if these trees are, these are on state owned property? Is it
It's
in
on
the right of
state-
way?
It's on state right of way.
Uh-huh, yeah,
It's on state highway, and they have a right of way 10 feet off the pavement on
Yeah.
either side.
so these are all in that right of way. So I don't know if that's a reason to exclude the tree warden from being notified. It seems like he should be anyways, because he asked to be, if we can make that happen.
Yeah, I can call him tomorrow and give him a blank list without the comments
Yeah.
and say, you know, if you get a chance, can you check these out? And again, I don't, you know, as far as John, I don't know that John did not consult with
Right.
him.
Right,
I
right.
can't
no,
say, it's just, these are John's notes.
Right. I wonder if they're flagged to make it easy.
Yeah, that was my question, Jay. Did they say they marked those trees?
I can't tell you.
Mhm.
Okay.
And they're only in the right of way? Or are they set back
Uh,
from the right of way?
I think they're only in the right of way. Now, the other thing that folks have to understand is, and I've seen the photos, as have you, I assume, of other parts of the state where there was some clear cutting going on
Mhm.
Right.
next to the road. Okay. They still have to get permission from the landowner.
Mhm.
So for instance, if they're doing my road and I'm in a town right away, and they hang a thing on my door, and I call them or I meet with them or whatever, and I said, no, you can take this one, but you can't take that one. Apparently they're respecting that, and that's what Eversource has been saying since day one, is that the permission to remove is up to the landowner. Although I'm also hearing if they refuse permission and there's problems later with a particular tree, they may come back to the landowner and say, hey, you had an opportunity to get rid of this, you refused, therefore you're gonna have to assume responsibility for the cost of whatever they're gonna have to do to repair these lines.
Jay, they
I don't
actually
think they can legally
they
do that.
specifically said that they would not do that.
They
Okay.
told us they would not do that.
Yeah, they specifically said they would not do that.
I also
Oh.
think legally, I can't see how that could be legally.
No, they would not
viable.
do that. I think that's in the meeting minutes, but I'm not sure if it's, it could be that that's part of the recording that we have on record. But we very specifically asked that question, and they said that no, it would not happen, that anybody would be responsible if they had declined and then later on there was an incident with
Okay.
damage.
All right, well, what I'll do is I'll call Bill Rathbone tomorrow and get a copy of what I just read to you to him and say, would you be willing to go out and just check these out? And what are your, thoughts on these particular trees, and see where we go from there?
Appreciate that
Yeah,
very
sounds
much,
great.
Jay.
Okay,
Thank you, Jay.
And has there any discussion happened about Route 171, or are they just focusing on Route 169 right now?
I think
Um,
they're focusing on that. I know there's some other stuff going on in town with replacing poles and lines, and the fiber people for television and cable are floating through town. But as far as Tenant and Eversource, I think that's what they're concentrating on now. They're doing studies, which is what I just read to you, and then I think they'll start the removal, and then they'll go to another section.
Okay. I appreciate the attention you're paying to this issue. And, I've never said from the beginning that they shouldn't take any trees down. Hazard trees do need to come down. It benefits us all, and it will benefit the property owner if they don't have to pay the cost of those hazard trees. And I see more and more of them as the leaf outs happening. So it's easier to pick them out.
Yeah, especially
Right.
the ash. So many of them are dead or dying, like you said.
There's a giant maple tree on 171, the one in front of what used to be, I think, the Christian bookstore. It's up on this mound, and it just has very few leaves on it this year. And that one needs to come out, but yeah. So thank you
Yep.
again.
Beth, did you want to talk about your particular?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, thanks, Maura. So just, I live on that section of 171. Nothing, I haven't heard anything back since we got the hanger on our door. I did call Bill Rathbone. Is it Rathbone or Rathbone?
Rathbone.
Rathbone, okay.
Yes.
Unfortunately, I wasn't able to meet him because of a family issue, but he did say he looked at my trees on our property, and I need to catch up with him. But the other thing I wanted to update everybody on is I did some sleuthing about national scenic roadways, or state scenic roadways, sorry. And I heard from David Elder, who is on the Scenic Roads Advisory Committee, about any regulations. So I'll just read this. He says, for any project work being performed on state designated scenic road, a review is performed by the Connecticut DOT Scenic Road Advisory Committee, which is comprised of different department bureaus and subject matter experts, including a licensed arborist and environmental scientist. Advisory committee reviews are conducted for any projects along these designated portions of roadway. These may include permitted privately funded encroachments, guide rail upgrades, tree removals and trimming, and full redesign in some cases. While utility companies need to maintain the utility protection zone, UPZ, for their respective infrastructure, a balance is sought to minimize any adverse impacts on the historic and natural features of state designated scenic roads. The submitted tree removal list was field reviewed and several of the proposed removals were. Oh, okay, yeah, so they did review our list and some were taken off the list, including a 26 diameter white pine in front of Woodstock School and a 30-inch diameter maple at Black Walnut Farm. And then, sorry, I'm just reading this for the first time too. And then they attached the revised list that they reviewed and revised. So I will send this out to everybody. It's probably, it sounds like, yeah, this is the same exact list, Jay, that you're reading from.
Oh, okay, does it, well, actually, the list I'm looking at came from Tenant Tree Service.
Yeah, yep.
Okay, but this is based on DOT study?
So
What-
it sounds like Tenet needed to submit to the DOT Scenic Road Advisory Committee this list. The
Okay,
committee reviewed it. They removed a couple trees from the list.
okay,
And then they attached the revised list. So it may be the same as yours, it may not, but I'll forward it.
yeah, and I'd like a copy also, please.
Yeah.
I'll
forward it.
compare it with mine. The date I have on mine was 4/18. And
Alright.
as I said, I met with Tony Wilbur, who's with Tenant on 5/3. So
Yeah.
what's the date of the list you're looking at?
So I have two lists. One is 4/18 and then the revised list is from 5/23 or 5/3.
okay.
23.
Okay,
Um,
so there may be
don't-
some changes to this list that I have.
yeah.
All
I'm
right.
curious, the one by the fairgrounds is an ash that we want to make sure it's not cut. And I don't know, it's hard to tell, like, I don't know where these poll numbers are.
Elm
That's why
tree,
I
you mean?
asked-
It's an elm, yeah, it's an elm.
Oh, it's an elm, sorry. I
Yeah.
thought it was an ash for some reason. All
Yeah,
right, so there's
Um,
no elm on this list, so I guess that's a good thing.
No, I've got pine, I'm looking at near fairgrounds, pine, spruce and maple.
Okay,
And yeah, there's no elm on the list that I have. It's more, again, the pines, as I said, shallow root base. And they, you end up with crotches, the weather gets in there, freezes and that sort of thing. And pines don't last long. And again, because of the emerald ash borer, we're having major problems with ash.
Yes,
So that's the issue with the list I'm looking at. There are a few maples. But,
maples are getting hit hard by climate change.
Okay.
And they also do not do well with road salt. And those are going
Okay.
to be things that are going to hurt our maple trees.
right, okay. All right, I will, I'll check with Bill Rathbone. And I'll also ask John, because he looked at these trees, whether or not they're tagged. Because somebody asked that if they were tagged, and I'll get back to you or send an email so that you'll have information for your next meeting.
Thank you very much.
thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
Jay. Really
Jay.
appreciate
Welcome.
that.
All right. Did anyone else have any questions or comments? Okay.
Thank you again
Appreciate-
for coming, Jay.
Yes, thank you.
Am I
Jay,
being
for coming.
dismissed?
You can listen because we have all kinds of other good stuff to talk
Okay,
about.
well, I don't know. I was invited to attend and.
You're
I
welcome to
planned my
stay.
whole-
You're
social
welcome to
evening.
stay.
You're absolutely
No.
welcome to stay.
Well, let me ask
Actually-
you. Go ahead.
Jay, I do need your email address.
It's confidential. I can't share. No, it's Jay Swan at woodstockconnecticut.gov.
Just one word, no periods or anything.
Yeah,
Okay, great. thank you.
well, yeah, .gov
.gov, yeah.
after the CT. It's
Thank you.
just all lowercase. You know,
All right.
anything else before I go? Okay, you gave me
No
homework.
complaints, anybody?
Oh, no.
Hey, you said
no.
anything.
No, this is conservation. If you have complaints, you call Crystal Adams, ADAMS.
Thanks a lot.
But, all right,
Thank you.
hey, listen, seriously, thank you for all you do. Because I'm very much into conservation, and I appreciate you all stepping up and volunteering your time and looking out for what's best for the town, okay?
Thank
So
you.
thank you very much.
Thanks, Jay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Take care.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right. Development Review Committee report? Is there
Um,
one?
There is, I did check the P and Z agendas and there's no activity that we need to report on. A review. So no report.
Thank you. Open space?
The open space meeting for May was canceled.
All right. Do we have a P and Z report? Does anybody go to those meetings? It used to be,
I read their minutes.
okay,
They seem to be focused a lot on whether or not to permit a cannabis retail market in town. And that's what they have 2 meetings a month. One is to focus on regulations. The other one is to do normal business. And that's what their regulation review is focused on right now, is cannabis, recreational cannabis establishments. So it's not something that I feel that conservation needs to comment on, so I haven't.
all right. Ag Commission report?
I wasn't able to attend.
All right. Stewardship. I did send you, Grace, that
Oh,
spreadsheet.
uh,
Did you get it?
I did, but I can't open it. I cannot read it. It does not come across very well. If you'd like to try again, I'd really appreciate it.
I don't know. I got that format, whatever it is. Maybe it's a different version of Excel. Is it? I think it's an Excel.
Yeah, but it shows basically about 10 properties. That can't be the complete list.
No, it's not the complete list. That's the list we were working on. And it has if you scroll over to the
Yeah.
right, there's a whole bunch of columns. And then there's some comments of the ones that Beth and I did.
See that, yeah, that did not come through.
It
That's why I
didn't.
say, no, not at all.
And you tried scrolling all the way to the right. Oh,
All I got was a lot of lines. That's why I
Okay.
say it did not, and I couldn't enlarge it to even read what you had written. As I
Huh.
said, I don't know. I mean, I have Excel on my computer. It should have come through. I do not understand. But if you give it one more try, I'll see what I can
okay. I don't, yeah, I don't know what else I can do. Make it more readable, but seems okay to me. Did I CC you on that, Beth? I don't know if I did. I might have.
I'll look for it. I'll look for
Yeah.
it.
Anyway, yeah, see if you can read it, but just maybe for a place for you guys to start, if you can finally read it. Or maybe
Yeah.
Jim, I know you said you wouldn't mind helping out.
Yeah, right. I was just gonna say, if you could
I
send
could
it to me, I'd
try
appreciate
sending it to you. Ow. Ah, my cat just scratched me. She wants to
Okay.
jump on my lap. She doesn't like when I'm talking to somebody other than her, so.
That's gotta
It's
be good at
included in the
your
conversation,
Zoom
yeah.
meetings.
Hey, I found something. Who should I send it to?
What do you,
I found a list of conservation
Sure.
easement stewardship properties that Maura sent me.
please do send it.
Send it to Jim and Grace.
Jimmy, okay, sure.
Cool.
I wonder if you convert it to PDF, if she could read it that way.
It's just an Excel spreadsheet, but I can
Yeah.
convert it if need be, if you don't have Excel.
She says she does, but you got a
I
brand new
do,
computer,
but-
right?
What?
You got a brand new computer? Or Chrome?
No,
Oh.
no, I got what the hell is it? Oh, excuse me. A Chrome.
I thought she was gonna show it to us.
No, I was trying to close the cover. so
Here,
I
let me
could
put
see
it
what
on Zoom.
said. Yeah. Oh, God.
All right, well, we'll try that for now and
Yeah, as I said, if you can convert it, Beth, that would be lovely. If not, just send as is and I'll see if I can get it
Sure.
on my PC. Just this stupid small thing. That will work.
okay. Pollinator
Moving-
pathway update.
Okay, I did outreach at the Quiet Corner Garden Club annual plant sale. Am I allowed to share my screen?
I don't know.
Yes.
Crystal?
Yeah, you can share your screen.
See if I can find the. I just wanted to show you the it's the impacts of what we've been doing. That's not where I put it. Hold on. But I've been talking to the garden club a lot, and the garden club is they're very focused on the exotic plants that look really beautiful, but now I can,
Not so much on the natives.
well, where is that folder? Here we go. So come on. It's taking forever. I need a new computer. Okay, that was the display. And Maura, you might recognize some of the outreach materials that I put there. I had one on rain gardens, alternate landscaping practices and riparian buffers. And then I had some great lists of plants that are good pollinator plants for our area that Xerces put out. I guess I have to do this one picture at a time. This was a banner that the garden club made up without me telling them to do it. So they take this banner when they do outreach at different places, and they've come up with their own version of, the pollinator pathway message, and they're going around. So it's not me doing it anymore. Other people are picking up the baton and running with it. And that just made me feel really good to see that.
You double click on that, Gene, and make it bigger.
Excuse me?
You double click.
We're not seeing your full picture.
Oh, I'm seeing it.
All we're seeing is your little thumbnails.
Oh, I see. I have to open all the pictures and do it that way. Okay, so we'll go back to the Zoom meeting. Share screen. Can you see that now?
Yes.
Yeah.
So they're doing this. This is another group of people that said, hey, let's pick this up. This is part of our conservation message. And the garden club is now spreading the message, which is a big change.
Good.
That's nice.
And at the garden club, they had signs that they put little butterflies in plants that were native so that people can pick them out easier when you got there early. That place got picked over really quickly. It was only open for 3 hours. It's amazing how much stuff went out that door. So it was nice to see that. And then my other report about the pollinator pathway, again, I had nothing to do with this, but it happened. A Girl Scout going for her Star Award, I think Gold Star Award, put in a pollinator garden at the town beach. So I think it's, Crystal, you might know better than me. Is it by the lifeguard shed or is it up by the bathroom?
It's going up towards the bathrooms, and I saw her Friday, and I just checked to see if she needed any other plants, because we're like dividing some hostas, and she said she had enough plants, and so I'm looking forward to taking a walk down there soon and checking it out.
So that at the plant sale, her mom picked me out of, I was the one with the bee hat on anyway, but she made sure, she goes, have you heard about my daughter's Gold Star project at the, the pond? And I said, that's awesome. It was in the paper. So, I would like to recommend that when the project is complete, that the Conservation Commission sent her a letter thanking her for doing it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Make a motion to do that.
I'm sure it's been one of those things. Crystal, you'll know more than us when it's finished. And if you let us know, I could draft a letter and Lee could sign it. Just
Yeah, absolutely.
because I like to see that kind of stuff. And they replanted, I forgot what they called it. I just saw it on Facebook today. There's a garden on Arvison Road that's part of Roseland Park, and a Boy Scout had planted a pollinator garden in there, but then somehow an invasive grass got mixed in with it. So they had to take the whole thing out and start over again, but they did with support from people in the community like Beth Zimmerman and others donating to it. So this is going to be a couple of years before it is in full bloom, with planting from seed. First year they sleep, the next year they creep, and then the third year they leap. But it's nice to know that that project is gone back. It's been put in again. So again, it's people saying we need to support pollinators, and people are saying, yes, we do, and taking actions to make it happen. So I think those are all very positive outcomes from what we are trying to inspire.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, that is great.
Hey, Jean, or not just for Jean, but for everybody, I just wanted to let you all know that the Goodwin Conservation Center is not doing a plant sale this year because they have discovered jumping worms in their garden, and so they don't want to spread them, and so they
I
want to deal with that.
saw that. I was very disappointed. I was looking forward to the plant sale. So that hurts them too, because that's how they raise funds to maintain the garden. Yeah, I had to do
That's too bad.
everything that I donated to the garden club for their plant sale. I dug it up, I cleaned off the roots and repotted it in potting soil. It was a considerable expense to me to be able to do that, but I was not going to be a vector.
All right. Sustainable Connecticut update.
I just put a link into their website, and I'll share their screen, but this is their training calendar. Let me scroll up. Can you see that?
Yep.
Okay, so you can see tomorrow they're doing a flood awareness workshop. They have some different equity workshops going on. Eversource on the first Thursday of every month has different workshops. So, sometimes there's things in there that, you know, if there's something in there that sounds really interesting to someone, anyone could sign up and do that. I have an update from, on the pollinator, Jennifer Mayo's daughter, Dylan. Her mom said it's not quite done. They're hoping to be finished by June 1st. They're putting, I think, a list of plants in tomorrow. They're waiting for a couple that were ordered special from Sprucedale.
Awesome.
Yeah, so June 1st is when they're hoping to be done.
Will they be doing any kind of a ribbon cutting ceremony or anything?
I will find out. I'm texting her now.
Yeah, because if they do, I'd like to show up just if I can.
Okay. Give me 1 second and I will. All right. So yeah, as far as Sustainable Connecticut, like that's, you know, they have different workshops every month, and if people are interested, they can check it out. And then the other part, you know, it's just a matter of somebody going in and like checking off, yes, this is what I did, and submitting proof of the different actions that they require.
I still need to do that. I'm sorry.
It's
I've done
okay.
a lot.
I know.
It is
So-
not letting me copy that link.
Just go to Sustainable Connecticut
Okay.
and it'll
Just
be,
click on the link.
yeah, trainings and events calendar.
Okay.
Actually,
So-
I see one I'm gonna send to Sue Connor to share with the librarians. They have one June 13th, connecting communities through libraries. So that might be something that one of the librarians might be interested in attending. It looks like it's a Zoom. Yeah, I'll share that with Sue Connor.
Do I remember you saying that you have to register in this, to do one of these things, that you would have to help us do that, or anybody can just go on and,
I can send, I think I registered Jean and I registered Amy Monahan. So
That's
like
what I thought.
if you want to do it, I can, you know, register you so that you can go on and do it.
well, give me a
I
little
know, I
time.
know,
I'm doing a little too much right now.
I know, I know. So sometimes if I see something on the calendar that I think might, you know, be of interest to somebody, I'll send it out their way. Like this one on libraries, I'll send to Sue Connor and, you know, see if that's something that she wants to explore.
So Crystal, are you saying that we all can't go in and look at this calendar, or just as
No,
far
you-
as updating?
No,
Updating.
anyone can go on and look at the
Yeah.
Sustainable Connecticut calendar. As far as updating, like, okay, the town of Woodstock has done this action.
Okay,
know,
that's,
You would either need to send all that information to me or say, Crystal, I will update it and I will make it so that you can go in and do it. That would be the preferred way.
Yeah.
Like if Jean was going to say, oh, look, we've done this pollinator pathway and that marks off this requirement, then Jean could then go in and, you know, mark it off as done and upload any information that they might need to show proof.
okay.
Cool.
Thank you, Crystal.
You're welcome.
Did you ever hear from Ken? He was
And,
well,
oh,
whatever. Yeah.
Wolf Legal.
right,
There you go.
He sent a thank you, you like, hey, he sent an email after the viewing. But then I don't think I heard back from him.
Okay. Yeah, because it was suggested that he get in touch with Sustainable Connecticut, as I just wondered whether he had done anything on
I
that.
believe I sent him the information about
Okay.
it, but I haven't heard back.
All right. We already did the Eversource project, new business. Any upcoming workshops, notice of past workshops?
I heard back from Jen Mayo, Jean, they haven't talked about a ribbon cutting, maybe question mark. So
Okay,
if they do that, I'll let the conservation know.
thank you.
You're welcome.
As the Last Green Valley Water Quality Monitoring Program Coordinator, hosted a workshop in Woodstock at Roseland Park, and it was about water quality monitoring in lakes using Secchi discs and different types of bacteria, cyanobacteria, blue-green algae monitoring techniques. Pam came to the workshop. I had US EPA come down along with Connecticut DEEP that actually did the training. And there were, besides Pam, other volunteers with the Last Green Valley that came to the workshop. And I think Pam was a little
Overwhelmed.
No, she
That
was
and the fact that
overwhelmed.
you needed a boat for most of it.
But no, you don't for Bloom Watch. That's just a phone app. But it was the more that we teach people about water quality in their lakes and how to monitor it, I think is good. And it was nice to be able to host the workshop in Woodstock. And the Thames River Basin Partnership, a lot of words, Grace. Floating
Nice.
workshop is June 9th from 1 to 5. It's going to be at Project Oceanology in Groton. The registration fee for people from Woodstock is $25. With that $25, you're going to hear the keynote address, which is about sustainable and resilient Connecticut programs. And mostly it's coastal, but there are other things going on inland. And then we're going to get on the Project Oceanology boat and go up the Thames River for a tour and have some stops along the way to talk about certain things that are going on in the area. So if anybody's interested in going on the Thames River Basin Partnership Floating Workshop number 23, send me an email and I can send you a registration form.
I have a
go
couple
ahead.
workshops if I can get.
Yep.
If I can get my cat.
I
out
was
of the
gonna
way.
say, I was laughing at your cat.
He can't, it's dinner time. And I'm taking dinner, so he's very unhappy with that.
He's catficating for himself.
Yeah, I know. So this is Pendleton. Everybody. He wants you to know there's a few workshops coming up at the CFPA headquarters in June. So there's these are with the Native Plant Trust and Kathy Connolly. There's one on June 17th about invasive plants and unwanted vegetation. That's going to be more of a lecture style. On June 24th, there's 2 workshops, and these are more hands-on, and both with Kathy Connolly and the Native Plant Trust. It's an interactive workshop on how to prepare your landscape to create a meadow. So like converting lawns or fields or forests to meadow landscape. And so that's, if you take all of them, like there's 2 workshops that day, it's a full day, or you could just go to one or the other. So you could check out the CFP website.
Thank you.
For more info, CT. Turning my camera off.
Gonna make it, Jean? All
Colin.
right. Oh, I know. Do we have anything else on that?
Yeah, Jean
Workshops?
had sent out, I think, to everybody about something, August 9th. Somebody's having something.
I think it's August 8th. I was gonna do that under open discussion. The
Mhm.
locally grown day that
There you
Amy
go.
Monahan put together is going to be, I think she said August 8th. It's a Saturday. And it's an opportunity for us to do outreach locally if anybody's interested. And I was thinking, because they have it at all the farms too. The past couple years, we've set up down at Chase Lumber in the parking lot. And I think I could probably talk to Matt Peckham and have him allow us to set up under the overhang up at the new barn they have. And people will be going up there to go get ice cream and pet the cows and stuff. And I bet you he'd let us set up there if we wanted to. And then I could get ice cream.
August 8th is a Saturday, Wednesday, Tuesday, whatever, it's not Saturday.
Wait, let me.
Yeah.
All right, it's either August 5th or August 12th. I know it's coming up. I saw it. They're doing it again. Same thing. Crystal, do you have, you see Amy, right?
Yes, yes, I do.
Could you ask her what the date of that is? I'm gonna choke again. Get that date so that we can decide if we want to do it and, if we want to sign up.
Yep.
I mean, it's another opportunity to set up, the pollinator pathway trifold before it gets changed to something else if, that happens
It-
for celebrating agriculture.
It's actually August 5th.
August 5th, okay,
Okay.
thank you.
I just pulled it up, yeah.
So, like I said, that's an opportunity. I no longer have a canopy that's portable, so I can't. I mean, it fell apart the last
It's
time we went
mine.
out. So, are you
It's
still
at
yours?
mine, yeah.
Okay.
Well, if you're under Matt Peckham's overhang, you might not need one.
That's right. And you're closer to the ice cream.
So many benefits to that, except for the smell of the cows.
And the flies. But,
You live in Woodstock, Connecticut, and you don't like the smell of cows.
Oh, I
Word.
don't smell them where I am. I don't have cows near me. I have horses, which actually I
Well-
don't mind the smell.
Okay, not going there.
All right.
so is anybody interested in, putting up a display this year? I mean, I don't really care to go to the to the Chase Lumber again. That was, it rained last year, didn't it? And, that's a pain, but if we're under Matt's thing, if we just
Yeah,
let it,
and I don't, well, that was, it's still new, and I think not a lot of people know about it yet. So it would be good if they could get more people, but, that's part of it, it's just getting enough people that you feel like it's worth doing all that work.
right. But I mean, I know if we set up at Buck's Ice Cream, there'd be a lot of foot traffic, but, I don't know if they're on the tour or not, but I just thought of Peckham's because of the overhang and not needing to bring anything more than a table and the trifold and some handouts. So,
If you need my arming, I'll be happy to donate again.
thank you. So I saw Jordan say that he'd be interested if we tabled. Is anybody else interested in participating?
Well, what do we have on the trifold? Is that
The
updated at
That's,
all?
it's
or
all the
what?
pollinator pathway stuff. I haven't changed it. It's gotten a lot of mileage this year. I keep taking it places.
Okay.
Or we,
well,
or we could skip it if there's no interest.
Well, it's not that I mean, pollinated pathways not locally grown. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't know what we have to put on the trifold that would keep anybody interested.
No. Pollinator pathways, you pollinators and orchards and fruit farms and pollinators go with growing things. It's outreach based on just good conservation practices that support agriculture. It almost thinks that it would make sense to do it at Sprucedale Gardens, and I'm sure they'd let me do it there too, but I'd have to have a canopy.
I mean, I'd like to, keep supporting this event because I think it's really a great event and it just needs to get up and going and get more advertising maybe so that more people will attend. I
Is-
might be able to do it. I need to look at my calendar.
Is ECCD tabling at this event? Is there outreach that we need to do?
I don't know. Is there?
Well, just the Little River plan.
I don't,
I don't think I can think of. That's the only project we have going on in town right now.
yeah. All right.
Well, why don't we table it until next month and see what we can, how extensive the maps and such. Because according to, as I said, the flyer that you shared, it's a free event, all are welcome, schedule and map coming soon. For instance, where's the farmer's breakfast? I don't
Probably at the
know.
Grange. It's usually at the Grange.
Yeah, that's the Grange.
Okay, but as I said, it's you go to different farms, is this correct?
Yeah, it's a
Okay.
guided tour. And they have a few vendors set up down at Chase, and last year there was less than the first year. People
Because
were
it
coming,
poured.
and people were coming in to get their Butts roast beef sandwich and then going right back out and not even coming over. So as
Yeah.
if it was to be set up in the parking lot at Chase, I would not want to do it. But if we could be someplace else where we're more likely to talk to people, I'd be in favor of it. That's all.
All right. Anyone else have any other comments about it?
I'm not sure.
Okay, let's open discussion. Laurie,
I don't have anything to add.
Grace,
No, I think that about covers it.
Jean,
I forgot to bring this up last month. Remember the Perrin Road open space piece, which we get to from Quarry Road, the 100 acres that we did the forest cut on? Well, Wyndham Land Trust now owns the property that's on the north side of that. You access it from Cabbage Hill Road, which is off of Rocky Hill Road. And I went on a walk on their property with Penny Foisey from Wyndham Land Trust. And she's a horseback person. And she told me that she knows how to get to the town land from the Wyndham Land Trust piece. And they have a trail system on the Wyndham Land Trust piece that we could connect with if we wanted to put a trail system on the town-owned piece on the other side of Bosworth Brook. So that's a piece of information I got excited about because we talked a long time ago about wanting to put in a trail system on that piece of town-owned land. So now I found an access issue. I mean, we've always had the access issue from Swedetown Road in Pomfret, because that's officially where the discontinued Perrin Road came out there. But it got washed out by Bosworth Brook, so that road is discontinued. We have the right of way to get to our town property, but there was that one property owner that did not want public access down that road because he owned the other half of the road. He put a gate up and said, I don't want people there. But he's gone now, but I just wanted to bring it up. That's an opportunity that we can explore, work with some scout groups or whatever. I know the Boy Scouts wanted to put in a primitive campsite there, and we couldn't let them because we didn't have the access without getting lawyers involved and stuff, but now there's another mechanism, so it's on the table. It could be on the table again if somebody wants to
Didn't-
pursue it.
Wasn't Wyndham looking, they were after the township to donate the property to them? Is that off the
That
table now?
I have no idea what the status of that is.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I wouldn't want to get over involved if it's something that the town's going to turn around and say, all right, we're going to give it to them.
No, I don't know what the decision's gonna be. We said our piece and that went to the Open Space Commission. And then there was the vote at the town hall about how the town could dispose of property.
Mhm.
So there's the whole thing. So I don't know what the current status of that is. I
Yeah.
haven't talked to Andy. I haven't talked to the Open Space Commission, so I have no idea what's going with that.
Just saying, before we go, trying to do all this stuff, if Wyndham Land Trust winds up with it, I'm sure they'll put the trail through the property. They'll just
Oh, they're
elongate the roads.
they're very good at doing that. They've very
That's what I mean. I would err on the side of caution or whatever it is. Wait and see if that's going to come to fruition.
I
If we're
just
not
really
going to have it.
it was really nice to actually be on the land and see how it connected with that piece of property. You know, we're
Yep.
part of what they're building to be a 2,000 acre forest block. And that
Mhm.
piece of property is part of it. And as someone who's been trying to accomplish stuff like this, and encouraging this kind of stuff to happen, to see it actually happen is just something that makes me happy. So.
What needs to happen for us to find out the status of that? Crystal, do you know if the open space, is that where it's at, or is there some other?
No, I'm not sure what the status is about that piece of property.
All right, if you could ask or find out, that would be helpful, and then we could kind of know. Because I think that's awesome, Jean, that I don't think there's enough trails in Woodstock.
Yeah.
And so it would be excellent to have some more, so. I
Well,
would be,
you can definitely walk on the Cabbage Hill property. There's the old farm roads on it. It's an old farm. And that there's fields that are still hayed. So there's times of the year you might want to walk on the hayed fields and other times of the year you don't. You know how that works. If you're
Right.
allergic to grass pollen, probably now is not a good time. It's coming up on the pollen season for the grasses that, but it was just nice to see it. I was just standing there staring at it. I was like, that's Bosworth Brook. I mean, it's like, I've looked at it on a map. I've never seen it in real life before. So that's all.
yeah, maybe we can find out what's happening with that, and
Or we can coordinate with Penny Boise and she could take us on a walk.
ooh,
So, and she said she would.
that sounds cool. Field trip. Okay, thank you. Grace, did I already ask you?
Yeah, no. Nothing.
Jordan,
Nothing.
Jim,
Nope, nothing.
Crystal,
Nope.
Pam,
Nothing.
did we lose Beth?
Apparently, the cat. The cat probably unplugged her
Cat
computer because
demanded
he
his
wanted to get fed.
Yeah, I think she's gone. Yeah.
All right, did I get everybody? That's all I can. All right, if we don't have anything else, I would like to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn, somebody?
Second, a motion to adjourn.
Jordan, second?
Jim second.
I want to watch.
Jordan
Jeff
motion, Jim second. All right,
Jim's all in order, okay.
we made it without Lee, and it was a lot quicker meeting. We'll have to tell him.
It was really nice that Jay came. I thought that was,
Yes, it was
Awesome.
nice.
Yeah, sorry I was late. What happened in the beginning?
Jay came.
What trees is he talking about? See, Jim?
Well,
Route
I'm sure,
169. Between the 169, 171 turn by the fairgrounds down to the Pomfret town line is what we were discussing. And which trees that they proposed cutting. And we're gonna get a second opinion from the tree warden. So that's,
Is that the
it'll
first-
be on the next, old business at the next meeting. All
so
right,
anyway, good night, everybody.
good night.
Night.